Hello and welcome to another edition of the History of the Week. Today, we take you back to a moment when Nigeria stood still, not in fear, but in unity, when people of all tribes and tongues came together and said no. This is the story of the 1945 general strike and what it still means today. In June 1945, something happened that most of us were never taught in school. It was not a protest in one village. It was not a riot by one tribe. It was a nationwide movement across tribes, across ethnicities, across classes, across all regions. The British colonial government had told Nigerian workers, "Be patient, accept your low wages. You're even lucky to have jobs." However, inflation was rising. Bread cost more. Coal miners in Enugu could barely afford to feed their families. Railway clerks in Zaria worked endlessly for a fraction of what their white counterparts earned, and then they had enough. But how long did this last? How far did they go? Here's a quick timeline. In June 22nd of 1945, it began as a coordinated nationwide shutdown. From Lagos to Enugu, Kaduna to Ibadan, the message was simple: enough is enough. In mid-July of 1945, the movement grew. Even those that were not in the unions joined in. Markets slowed down. They put down their tools. They locked the train stations. They refused to move goods. And for 45 days, the whole of Nigeria froze. Not in chaos, but in solidarity. August 5th, 1945. After 45 days of pressure, the colonial government caved. Wages were increased. Their voices finally could not be ignored. The British were stunned because for the first time, Nigerians came together and showed that they could be one voice, not divided by language or tribe, but united for the need for justice. And when the dust settled, when the colonial government caved, when the salaries were raised, when the voices were heard, there was a spark that helped fuel the independence of Nigeria years later. But here we are today, disrespecting each other over where we are from, mocking each other's accent, spreading division and disunity, even when our ancestors chose unity. So I ask, are we really enemies? Do we really look at each other and truly decide that we cannot stand the sight of each other because we're not from the same tribe? When did we forget that we are all from the same tree, just different branches? We were never meant to fight each other. We were only meant, and we are only meant, to fight what truly holds us back. Poverty, greed, bad leadership, poor education, insecurity, broken systems, broken healthcare, hunger, hopelessness, and disunity. There are powerful forces that sit and laugh every single time we choose hate instead of healing. They win when we divide, but when we unite, they don't stand a chance. So tell me, Nigerians, is all hope really lost? Or are we just waiting for another moment to rise together? And when that moment comes, are we really going to seize the chance and stand together as one that we are? This was the Brainiacs Trivia History of the Week. See you next time, where the past reveals the power of who we can still become. Thank you very much for joining in, and take care.